new episode of the Riff Rundown. Hope this is finding you and yours doing well this weekend. My name is Petrilli here with my friends at Fishman for a brand new episode of the Riff Rundown. We're going to be learning a Beatles classic, A Hard Day's Night. So have your electric guitar in standard tuning for this one. If you happen to have a 12 string, extra gold star points for you. It's going to sound particularly awesome on a 12 string. So if you have it, bring it. If you only have a 6 string, totally cool. As always, you're enjoying these lessons that I do here weekly on YouTube. Please be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Really does help me out a lot. And if you want to check out all the cool Fishman gear that I use in these lessons, including these sweet Fluence pickups that I have in my Strat today, go ahead and click the link down below. And while you're at it, many of you ask how you can support me for these lessons that I do here on YouTube. I have original music on Bandcamp. I have a Patreon page. So all of that and much more linked down below in the video description so you can check all of that out. So before we get started, you know I like to ask a question. So please do let me know where you are tuning from. And let's see, how about your favorite Beatles record? Put it in the comments below. I want to know. So grab your electric guitar or your 12 string, standard tuning. Let's have some fun. Here's Hard Day's Night. So let's go ahead and get to it. So the intro, there's a lot going on. And if I had 4 arms, I would play what is actually happening on the song. So the intro, there are 2 different guitar chords that are being played. So when I was watching a live version of the Beatles playing this in the 60s, they had a camera right on John. And when he did the intro, he chose to play an F add 9. Okay, so this chord here, we're going to do first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger. We're going to need them all. First finger is going to be on the first fret of the B string, that's our C. Our second finger is going to be on A, second fret of the G string, third finger on F, third fret of the D string. Pinky finger is placed on the G note, which is on the third fret of the high E string. And I want you to strum the strings that your fingers are on. Now, in the video, that's what John did. And George, on the other hand, is playing this. So these 2 chords are put together on the recording. It's really, really neat. So that chord that George is playing looks like it's a D sus4. So how we play that is like this. So you're going to get your first 3 fingers. We're going to play a regular D chord. Those of us who know it, great. If you don't, I'm going to show you. So first 3 fingers. First finger, placing that on A, second fret of the G string, second finger F sharp, okay? Second fret of the high E string, third finger on D, third fret of the B string. Okay, so we have that there. Your pinky finger is now going to play G, third fret of the high E string, strum from the D string downward. So one Beatle is playing this, and another is playing this. Okay? To the best of my eyes and ears, I know this is a subject of much discussion, so I encourage you. It's a great song to play with a buddy. One of you pick a chord and have some fun. So that 2-chord intro, awesome. Okay? So what's happening next here is we're going to go ahead and look at the chorus that jumps right out at us at the top. Very beginner-friendly chords. So I'm going to play it just a little bit slower than I did at the top. Again, very beginner-friendly chords here. So here's how it goes. pretty straightforward. Let's go ahead and talk about it. So the first chord, so it's been a hard day's night, and I've been working like a dog. Okay? G, C, G to F to G. So those of us who don't know how to G chord, play a G chord. I'm gonna show you how to play it. So first 4 fingers here. First finger, second fret of the A string, B, because remember the tonal centers of G, G, B, and D, the 1, 3, 5, okay? So there's B. Second finger is gonna play G, third fret of the E string, not so bad, okay? Third finger, placing that on the D note, third fret of the B string, pinky finger is going to be placed on G, third fret of the high E string. So, okay, that's gonna split a measure with C. That's the chord that's coming next. So with our C chord, first 3 fingers here. First finger, we're playing C. Remember our tonal centers, C, E, and G. Those are the notes that build up a C chord. So there's our C there with our first finger. Our second finger, placing that on E. E is an elephant, second fret of the D string. Third finger on C, third fret of the A string. I want you to strum from the A string downward. Okay, just like that. So at the top, then we go back to G for another measure. Let's go through that nice and slowly. Here we go. So if we do it with a little context with vocals, it's been a hard day's night, and I've been, and now we play the F chord. So watching John play this live, to my eyes and ears, it looked like that F9 chord, okay? So one that we did at the top has a nice shimmer, has a really nice shimmer to it. So we can choose to play this chord there, or we can choose to play a regular F. So how I like to do this, I'm gonna give you guys 2 different options, okay? You know, I like to give you options when I can. So we can choose to play F like this, first 3 fingers, okay? Again, F, A, and C, the 1, 3, 5, the building blocks of F major. First finger is going to be on C, first fret of the B string, second finger, second fret of the G string A, and then our third finger is going to play F, third fret of the D string. So you can choose to just play those 3 strings. If you're feeling adventurous, use that thumb to play that F. Okay. If this is maybe not, you're not there yet, no problem. Could you play the bar chord? You could if you want, sure. So I'll talk you through that one. So all 4 fingers for this one, bar chord, okay? First finger across the first fret of all 6 strings. Something that I find useful is thumb placement. If your thumb is up too high, it's gonna be really hard for your first finger to reach and play that bar chord. So I encourage you, lower the thumb just a little bit so that those two have a nice relationship when they're building that chord, okay? And I'm someone who likes to build the bar first and then get into building the rest of the chord, okay? So that's how I like to do that. From there, so that tip of that first finger, that's where our root is. So that's where F is, first fret of the E string. So now our third finger, go ahead and place that on C, okay? Third fret of the A string. Keep a nice curl with these fingers, okay? With that pinky finger, go ahead and place that on the other F, okay? Which is gonna be on the third fret of the D string. And then your second finger rather, placing that on A, second fret, the G string. Go ahead and strum everything here. Okay, give it some good pressure. I don't want you hurting yourself. If bar chords are new for you, okay, just, you know, do your best. That's all we can ask for. Okay, so that's the bar chord. So I'm giving you 3 options. You could choose to play the bar chord here, you could choose to play F here, or the F9. Okay, pretty great stuff. So from the top, it's been a hard day's night, and I've been working like a dog. G chord, okay? So that all gets repeated 2 times. G, C, G, and then F, back to G. Let's go ahead and do this a couple times here. Again, very beginner-friendly lesson today, so let's really work on our switches between our open chords and that one F bar chord if you'd like, okay? So here we go. Let's do the bar chord. do the F9. I should be sleeping like a log. Again, it's been a hard day's night. Let's do the F9. Repeat. Okay, pretty straightforward, folks. Pretty straightforward and simple. From there, so when I get home to you. Okay, so that next part. We're gonna start that off with a C. We've already played it. We already know how that goes, right? So we've got C. We're gonna play that for a measure. From there, we're gonna go and play a D major. So remember that D sus4 that we just played at the top? Just release the pinky finger. So again, D, F sharp, and A are the tonal centers of this D major chord. First three fingers. First finger on A, second fret of the G string, second finger, second fret of the E string, F sharp, third finger on D, third fret of the B string, strum from the D string downward. Okay? We're gonna play this chord for a measure as well. Then what we're gonna do next is we're gonna split this measure. For the first half, we're gonna play G. And then we're gonna play a C7. And then back to G. So this C7, what are the building blocks of this chord? Well, we still have C, E, and G. We need those to make a C major chord. What's interesting about this C7 is we include a B flat, or the flat 7, okay? So go ahead and play your regular old C chord, okay? You already know this, you got this. From there, I want you to place your pinky finger on the third fret of the G string. That is a B flat. That is what makes the C chord a C7, okay? And feel free to strike all 5 of those strings if you'd like. If you wanted to sound a little more dark and bluesy, don't strum the high E string. See how you like it. And then from there, go back to G. So I'm gonna play that second half of the chorus. I'm gonna do this a little slowly so you can hear it, okay? So when I get home to you, and I like to do that G on an upstroke, okay? So let's do that again. So that's it. And that C to D to G to C7 to G, that happens only one time, okay? So from there, let's go ahead and do the entire chorus, okay? So we're gonna pick up the pace. I think we got it. And again, if you're enjoying the lessons, please be sure to click that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, check out the Fishman gear, really helps the cause. So here we go. Repeat it. Let's do that chorus again. Hard day's night, and I've been working like a dog. So when I get home to you, I find the things that you do. Fun, right? This is a great song. And again, if you have an electric 12 string, it's gonna sound absolutely just perfection. It's gonna sound perfect. Okay, so now the bridge. So in that chorus, John is singing that, right? And then there's the harmonies with the other Beatles. In the bridge, Paul takes lead. So when I'm home, everything seems to be right. We're gonna look at that part next. So with this part here, we're gonna have another bar chord, no big deal, it's a B minor. I'm gonna play through it nice and slowly, and then we're gonna go ahead and talk about it. There it is, nice and bluesy and fun and really cool. What's happening in that bridge of that B minor, you can feel that the beat is really driving 1, 2, 3, right on those quarter notes. Bop, 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 bop. It's really fun to play that way. So what we're going to do here, let's go ahead and look at that B minor. So what we're going to do, similarly to what we did with that bar chord F major, okay? First finger across, this time the 2nd fret of the bottom 5 strings. The E string is not invited to the party, not this time, okay? So B minor. So again, the B rooted on the 2nd fret of the A string, okay? So again, our tonal centers for this chord, it's a 1 flat 3 5 because it's a minor chord, so it's B, and then we have D to the F sharp. And we're going to see all 3 of those notes here. So we have our 3rd finger now on the F sharp, that's our 5. So that's going to be on the 4th fret of the D string. Pinky finger is playing another B, okay, 4th fret of the G string, and then our 2nd finger, go ahead and place that on the D note, 3rd fret of the B string, B as in boy, okay? So strum from the A string downward. Okay, make sure this finger is nice and flat, and we don't want it to be crooked or like this because then we're going to get some buzziness with our chords. Okay, and keeping these fingers nice and curled. You can totally do this, okay? You can totally play this chord. So there's B minor. Okay, and how we're going to strike this on those quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take downward strokes again. We want a nice supple wrist here. Okay, they're really nice and choppy, but that's good. It really drives the song in this bridge, right? So bop, 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 bop. Now, how I'm getting those to be nice and clean, I am muting ever so slightly with this part of my hand after the downstroke. So we've got, and I very lightly, I'm not pressing with this part of my hand, just muting those strings. Okay, so we've got, and if I do it faster, notice how all that movement coming from that wrist, okay? So make sure it's nice and supple. There's some nice movement there, okay? Again, you can totally handle this. And we're going to get 4 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? From there, we're going to go to an E minor. You can choose to do it that way too. So E minor, very friendly beginner chord, those of us who know, okay? We're going to use our 2nd and 3rd finger to play this chord. So our 2nd finger, placing that on B. 2nd fret of the A string, 3rd finger, 2nd fret of the D string, E. So again, total centers, this is a minor chord. So that formula in building a minor chord, 1 flat 3 5. In this case with E minor, that's going to be E, G, and B. Okay? So same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Just like that. Really keeps it fun. Again, if you want to play these a little more open, that's totally cool too. Okay, so from there, we're going to do 2 measures. We're going to go back to that B minor. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? In context with some vocals. When I'm home, everything seems to be right. Okay? Just like that. That's what's happening there. Let me slow it down a little bit and follow along. Don't forget to click that thumbs up. Here we go. That's what we're looking for there, okay? And again, supple wrist, really nice light hand. For me, I like to keep my hand really relaxed. If you find it's really tense, you may find yourself getting caught up on the strings. So just remember to chill and relax. It helps. So, 2nd half of this bridge, we're gonna open up that strumming a little bit. We're gonna go back to that G minor. So what's happening there on that part? We've got G. We're going to go back to that E minor again with the strumming opened up a little bit. Back to the C7. Okay. And then we're going to lead into a D7. For this song, I kind of like to play it like this. So it's the same shape, that C7, right? C, E, G, B flat. We're going to move that shape up a whole step. I love playing 7th chords this way. So how we're going to do this, where your fingers should be, because if they're not here, it's going to sound a little weird, okay? So what we've got, 3rd finger on the D note, 5th fret of the A string. We have our 2nd finger, that should be on the 4th fret of the D string, F sharp. Pinky finger, okay, That is playing C. Okay, so that's the flat 7 of this chord. Okay, 5th fret of the G string. First finger, D note. 3rd fret, B string. Think I got them all. Okay? Just like that. Try not to include that high E string. Strum only the strings that your fingers are on. Great chord. Okay? So I'm going to play through this whole bridge nice and slowly. Here we go. So please follow along. Do it a little faster. Okay, so here we go. When I'm home, everything seems to be right. Let's do that again. When I'm home. From there, we go back into the chorus. Now, we're going to look at the solo. The solo happens at the 1 minute 20-second mark on the album. Now, what we're going to do here, I was watching George play this live on that same video where we saw John do this, okay? And the solo looks to be this. Now, keep in mind, when George was playing this solo, he was playing it on a 12 string. So what we're going to do here is going to sound close to how it sounded live and how it sounded on the record. To really get that sound, you're going to need a 12 string. So here's what we've got. Pretty, like, not bad, okay? Let me teach you how to play it. Not bad. It's a great little line. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to get that 3rd finger on the G note, 10th fret of the A string, and we're going to strike it twice. Okay, so far so good. From there, I want you to get your 1st finger, placing it on the 8th fret of the D string, B flat, hammering to that C note, okay? That's the 10th fret of the D string. From there, go back to the 8th fret, then get your 3rd finger sliding from the 10th fret to the 12th fret of the D string. Just like that. That's going to be part 1. So here we go, slowly. Let's do this a few times. Again. And one more time. Not too bad. Not too bad, right? It's totally doable. You can totally play this. So, what's happening next? We're going to do a fun little line here. This is something that you can play in any kind of fashion all over the fretboard of the guitar, okay? But we're going to do it in this particular place. So I want you to get your 1st finger. Okay, so that's going to be the line that we do. 1st finger across the 10th fret of the D string and G string. What notes are those? That's going to be C and that's going to be F, respectively. Okay, so just like that, like you're playing a little mini bar chord. Okay, and again, making sure that that thumb is back here to create a really good seal. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to hammer on with that 3rd finger on the 12th fret of the D string. Okay, so it's going to go like this first. So far, so good. Okay. Then you're going to strike that F note at the 10th fret of that G string. We're going to do this 4 times. Not too bad, right? It's kind of fun. So let's do that again. And a little slower. From there, you're going to get your first finger sliding from the 10th fret back to the 8th fret of the D string and begin where we started. 10th fret of the A string G, hit it twice. Okay? Let's do the whole thing. Let's do the whole thing nice and slowly. And that repeats. Let's do it a little faster now. Do it again. Now, you can play this line because remember, B flat and C and F, these notes live other places along the fretboard. So if you don't have a 12 string, but you still kind of maybe want it to sound like kind of jangly, there are other places that you can do this. So I encourage you, learning your fretboard, such a great thing, such a great thing. So try and find that line somewhere else. I encourage you. It's my homework. I don't really give homework on the riff rundown, but there you go. That's my homework for you. Put it in the comments if you tried it, and let's help some other people learn where else you can play that little lead line. Okay? So after that, after we play that line, the solo, and then we go into the second half of the chorus. So when I get home to you, I find the things that you do. From there, we go into a bridge. So Paul McCartney takes over. When I'm home. Okay, so we do that bridge. Then we get into another chorus. Okay, we do the whole thing. And then at the end of this chorus, we have this little tiny tag. So, make you feel alright, you know I feel alright. And then we have this cool little line, which I'll show you in a second. So that little tag, all that's happening there, it's gonna be G, C7, G, and then G, C, and then we find this little line. So what that little line is, it's gonna be and it just repeats. A really pretty little line that then fades out. So how we do this, okay, it's two little parts, really fun. You're gonna get your pinky finger on G. That's going to be on the 3rd fret of the high E string. First finger is going to be on the 1st fret of the B string, C, and then your second finger is going to be on a 2nd fret of the G string. We are going to go E string, B, G, B string. That's the first one. Let's do that again. Then lift the pinky finger out of the way. Bring that first finger across to the F note and the C note at the 1st fret of the E string and B string respectively, and do the same picking pattern. So what it is this. And then that fades out. It's really great stuff. So folks, Hard Day's Night by the Beatles. We learned it. Great job. Give your high five, virtual high five. You guys did great. This is such a fun song, really fun to play. And again, very beginner friendly. And if you have a 12 string, it's going to be just extra epic. Extra, oh my gosh, and now there's fireworks. Look at that. I guess that's what Restream is doing these days. There you go. I did not plan that whatsoever. There we go. That's exciting. Cool. I guess it's great for 4th of July weekend that there are fireworks there. Awesome. Totally unplanned. Again, wishing you much success in your musical journey. It's always fun playing the Beatles. Have fun with that, folks. I'll see you guys next time.